A major part of the Kerry Lieberman bill was essentially written by BP. Cap and trade is extremely difficult to pass in Congress, especially after the forcing through the unpopular health care legislation, as more and more Americans begin to waken up to the consequences of Obama's climate change program. A Freedom of Information Initiative has disclosed that, in contradiction of claims made by the administration, a study by the U.S. Department of the Treasury estimated that cap and trade laws would impose a new taxation of up to $200 billion a year, equivalent to a 15% increase in income tax. That is why Obama is trying, very unconvincingly, to brainwash Americans into thinking they're facing a crisis as grave as 9/11, presumably casting BP as the new Al-Qaeda in order to gain support for legislation that would ratchet up energy prices, destroy jobs, and cause the economy to contract. The fact that he is reduced to so transparent an imposture is testimony to how dramatically his status and credibility have shrunk during his 17 months in office. The latest Rasmussen presidential tracking poll has his approval rating index at humiliating 18 or minus 18, with 42% strongly disapproving of his performance and just 24% strongly approving. It is that hemorrhaging of support in the run-up to midterm elections rather than the oil leak that is Obama's real crisis. And then we have an article from WorldNet Daily. Was Obamacare designed for distribution of wealth? Duh! I won't even read the story. Of course it was. Cap and trade is the same thing. In fact, most of the things, most of the things that this administration is doing and what is going on all over in countries all over the world is nothing but a power and a money grab. That's what it's all about. Grabbing the money, grabbing the power, consolidating. That's why banks are being bought out. That's why real estate companies that's why corporations in general are grabbing in all of these little smaller entities and bringing them all into one big giant conglomerate, because we all have to get along in a new world order so that we can make sure that no man can buy or sell. So we have this conglomeration taking place in the business world. We have it taking place in the political world. We have it taking place in every aspect of life. And oh, by the way, we have it taking place in the church as well. Let's all get along. In fact, let's all smoke some religious marijuana by way of contemplative prayer. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And we'll all, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. I don't know if you knew that that's what that song was about, but it was about marijuana smoke going through the air. That's what it was. Everybody's joining together to be as one. Let's unite together as one. And while the whole world unites, God says to those with some sense, come out from among her, my people, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and I will be a father to you, and ye shall be my children. I'll tell you something. I've just really this week I've just been contemplating, not in a trance, but I've been meditating and contemplating and thinking about who my Father is and enjoying who my Father is. I love my Father. I love my Heavenly Father. I'm glad this guy was not my father. Panel commissioned by Barney Frank recommends nearly $1 trillion in defense cuts. A panel commissioned by Representative Barney Frank is recommending nearly $1 trillion in cuts to the Pentagon's budget during the next 10 years. I don't think that those guys at the Pentagon really appreciate Barney Frank for what he's trying to do. I really don't think that they really... I mean, Barney Frank is just trying to spread a little peace and love throughout the world without all this warfare. And you know what? As a Christian, I'm for peace and love through Jesus Christ for all the whole world. In fact, the message of the angels when Jesus was born was peace on earth, goodwill toward men. That's what I want. It will come one of these days through Jesus Christ. But until then, we have enemies out there. We have real enemies out there. Our nation has enemies out there that are right now sitting around in mosques and Communist Party tables planning the destruction and the takeover of the United States of America. And Barney Frank wants to cut $1 trillion out of their budget. Those guys are not going to take that very well. It's kind of like this plan. We know it's there. We know it's there. It hadn't been ratified. The treaty has not been ratified yet. People sent me this thing about Hillary Clinton and that the treaty was already signed. It's not true. It hasn't been signed yet. But we're taking a step toward that. And everybody knows that at some point, guns are going to be illegal in this country. Yeah, right. Go down where I'm going next week. I'm going to Northwest Arkansas. Go down there in Northwest Arkansas and try to take those guns away from those people down there. That's not going to work. The people with the guns are not going to let you have them. And so the Pentagon has all the weapons and they have all the guns. I don't think this is going to happen. Boy, I tell you what, and you know what? What a dangerous time we live in, people. What a dangerous time. Several of you sent me this. Obama issues executive order mandating lifestyle behavior modification. Part of the health care bill. Part of the health care movement. In fact, what was it I saw? Something like $2 billion that Obama is recommending being spent on modifying my behavior. Now, I have an admission to make. I mentioned here several days, weeks, months ago that I was going on a diet. Well, I was. And that by the end of June I was going to lose 40 pounds. I haven't done it. In fact, I had bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I correct myself. I had 2 of them this morning. They were really, really good. Oh. And Obama wants to modify my behavior. Good luck to that one. This is all nanny state stuff, people. And here again, we have all these vile people everywhere. Let me read this verse again. When the wicked walk on every side, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. God has this theme throughout the Bible. When we will not live under His authority and His protection, God puts us under cruel authority. So now we're going to have laws. Now we're going to have laws saying I cannot eat 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I cannot, as a free American, go and buy what I want to buy and what I want to eat in this country. And I don't care what you say about my health, about my weight, about this and about that. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't fornicate with gay men from Haiti. I don't do anything like that. But the United States government is going to tell me, you can't have that. No, no, no. You can't have that. That's bad for you. That's how they're treating us. And I'll tell you, looks good on paper. People in this country won't put up with that stuff. I don't know why they're even trying, except for to get everybody to go. And I think that's where we're headed. We know that they're messing around with DNA. Here's one: human genes to be injected into goats, cows, and sheep. You see, God has a law. That law is in Exodus. Where is that? Exodus 22, where God said, let's see if I can find it here. Something about, let's see here. I know here it is. I know I'm looking right at it, just can't find it. Something about, a woman's not supposed to lie with a beast. And a man's not supposed to lay down with an animal. So when they start mingling human genes with goats and cows and sheep, that's just about as sick as what the Bible was describing. Scientists have been given permission, not by God, scientists have been given permission to put human genes into goats, sheep, and cows for the next 20 years to see if the animals will produce human proteins in their milk. This is going to, when they produce this milk, it's going to make us more healthy. It's going to help us. Monsanto, they're helping us. They're making us more healthy by modifying all the genetic structure of all the seeds that everybody... It's just helping us. God said no. God said don't. God said don't mingle. He said they're diverse kinds. Don't mingle the seed. Daniel chapter 2. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. God said don't do it. Have nothing to do with it. Here's another article. It's actually probably an editorial. Hopes pinned on genetically modified milk. AG research